If you've been using the internet at all, this probably looks familiar, or at least something like this. You'll see, little photos, and then you'll see a kind of blog post or report name or article name under it, and then kind of the source under that. These are ads, and this is taking over the entire internet. You're seeing this more and more because they're effective. They get clicked on more because it seems like content to users, and it's not an ad. It's because it is content. These are typically blog posts, but the person that owns the blog post is paying to have these blog ads syndicated across, all these sites all over the internet. So this actually came from the bottom of one of CNN.com's web pages. So they're being shown on major sites, and there's a lot of inventory available to promote a blog post, across these huge sites. And they're shown millions of times on thousands of sites, not just CNN. They're all over the place. Now, this snippet here that you're seeing, this is 6 different ads from 6 different blog posts or site owners that have all put these ads into the system. And these are content distribution networks that are publishing these ads, and that the blog post owner is paying for this promotion, and they pay per click when someone clicks on any of these little mini ads that leads to whatever the content is that's being talked about. So all these look like articles, and that's what they're supposed to look like, because articles and content get clicked on more than things that look like ads. So you're starting to see this all over the internet. It's growing and growing, and it's something you need to not only learn about, but learn to test and take advantage of for your business. Because right now, click costs to advertise this way are still pretty low. So we're going to talk more about that in this lesson. So content distribution networks are becoming very, very popular and powerful. It's a great source of traffic that produces leads and customers for your business. You can typically get traffic for 25 to 35 cents per click. So you're going to, send them to a blog post, a great piece of content on your site, and it's not too much money to get someone that's already seeing the title of what it's about. They're interested in it. Then they come to your site and read about it. And of course, embedded in the bottom of your blog post or on the sidebar or in an overlay pop-up, any number of ways you can use to generate opt-ins and to collect that lead. So as a bonus benefit to advertising on these content distribution networks, it can help you build incoming links for SEO. We're going to talk more about this when we get to the SEO section of this course. But essentially, by you advertising and promoting great content that you publish on your site, you can also end up getting it in front of people that will link to it and share it on social media and do these other things to tell others about it, because it's a great piece of content. And great content on the internet always rises to the top and wins. That's the nature of the internet, and Google understands that, and so does Facebook and all these other sites. So by buying traffic from these content distribution networks to get your blog post out there and promoted, it's going to help you build links for SEO. So it's going to help that blog post rank organically. That can then bring you a whole bunch of other traffic on a long-term basis. So you'll promote your best blog posts, and not just any blog posts. You want to find some of your best, and you'll of course test them, track the results to make sure hopefully you're generating profits from the money you spend on these content distribution networks to promote it. Now here's an advanced tip. If you track customer paths, and you should, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later on, but in Google Analytics, for example, you can track these paths that people take, where they're going in your process, what pages they visit before they end up buying your products, or after they opt in, where they're going to, where they aren't going to, and you can track that by campaign and by traffic source. And so you can find which blog posts that you promote on these networks are actually producing the sales for your business. It's one thing if they produce opt-ins, but it's another thing if they end up producing sales and money for you. So it's very critical that, of course, you track customer paths by these different campaigns to see where people actually go and what value it ends up creating for your business. Now, titles are clearly critical to maximize your click-through rate on these little blog ads that are being shown for you, as well as the engagement on your site. Now, if you create a title that's clickbaity, in other words, it's just written to get a lot of clicks, but they get to the blog post and it's not a bunch of related content or it's not good, then they're going to leave and bounce, and you're going to have low engagement rates. We've already talked about this. This is the future of everything. Relevance and engagement. It hurts your Google rankings. It hurts your social media shares and exposure. Hurts you all the way around. You can't do that anymore. You have to have kind of legitimate link titles and things that will lead to related content that has high value, that will make people want to read it, which is why they clicked on it. Nothing gets people pissed off more than clicking on something that goes to a page that's nothing like what they thought it would be. So the titles that you write for these blog posts, and of course those then blog posts that you promote, should be written properly, not only to get clicks and to be an engaging title, but to contain some meat, some quality content that it's referring to. And then ultimately the blog post itself has a lot of value and does contain that great content. Now, last but not least, the best content distribution networks that you should check out: Taboola, Outbrain, Zemanta, and Gravity. These are 4 of the biggest. There are other ones out there. I would just use these. Taboola, Outbrain are the 2 best ones, so I would stick with those, test those different ones. Maybe start with one, then work your way to another one. But you can get tons of great leads for your business, and they can ultimately generate great cash paying customers in your business. And oftentimes, depending on how well you create that blog post, how much quality it is, how much content is related to your business model. If you're selling dresses, you may not be able to use blog posts to really boost up your sales for your online store for dresses. But if you're selling, medical equipment, and of course, almost every single type of niche and type of product has content related to it. Even dresses, how to pick the right fitting dress or what the fall fashions are. So there is content related to everything. That's why I said you should be able to find a way to build opt-in leads for every type of thing that you may or may not sell. It can be harder for some e-commerce store businesses, but there's still typically some good content. However, with that being said, a lot of industries, niches, and business models lend themselves better to content than others. And if you're ever going to make use of Google SEO or anything like that, you're going to want to have great content or have a business built around great content. So hopefully there are some opportunities for you to create great content. Well, again, once you have all that, then you can come and you can syndicate those blog posts through these content distribution networks, driving people to your blog posts, then hopefully getting them to opt in or take other calls to action, which will then lead to them buying your products and services, and of course making you money in your business. But check out across the internet for digital marketing.